So first thing, hello everyone, today we're going to learn how to make a socks for this is half double crochets and triple crochets, and we're going to make it a bit wavy. This is like a baby socks. What we need is a shoe sole, plastic shoe sole like this. We need pins, we need a crochet hook size 5mm because I'm doing with thick yarns. We need a scissors to cut, we need needles, and we need a tape to measure, and more especially we need the wool we're using. Today I'm using two wools. I'm using the red and the deep blue sprinkle colors because we're doing Christmas theme. So that is it. At the beginning of my work, I'm going to be working with the two yarns. The first yarn to start with is the red, whereby I do a slip stitch or a circle, as you all know. So that's yarn over like this, pull it and pull out on this one. I'm using the needle 5mm. So I'll put the yarn in, and I'm going to be chaining 11 chain stitches for the first red one because I'm doing two different colors. What I mean by two different colors is that half of it will be red and the other half will be this sprinkle blue. So I wrap my yarn around my hand. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. At this point, I'm going to attach the next one. You'll be wondering, are you going to cut your yarn? No, I'm not cutting my yarn. I'm just pulling the next yarn out. And I'll attach it in. So I will join you right back. When I do attach it, I just do the circle, put the yarn through the needle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. I'm leaving these ends because at the end of the work I'm going to sew them in with the needle that I show you with the items at the beginning. So I'm going to carry on do a level more and meet you there. So at the end of my work you'll have chains, single chains looking like this. That's 11 plus 11, that's 22, and you can see the two threads are entangled on each other. But don't worry, just put them at two different places so you can easily work with. So for the second stage of the shoe, the baby shoe, I will be doing half double crochets and slip stitch. But before that, I do a chain 1, that's an extra chain. And when I do half double crochet, what I mean by that is put in the yarn, yarn over, pull through, and pull through this one, that's a slip stitch. I'll do it one more time, yarn over, so put the needle through, yarn over, pull through, slip stitch. So your slip stitch look like this. So I'll carry on slipping stitch all the 11 stitches I made with the blue. And please remember, do not do them too tight so that you can be able to see what you're doing. Yarn over, slip stitch. One more time, put the needle through, pull, yarn over, put the needle through, pull, yarn over. So this is what I'm going to carry on doing till I get here, and I'll let you know. At this point here, you can see I have the blue and I have the red. So you can put a pin to remember where you're connecting each of them and what you're doing on each one, so you shouldn't forget. So now I put a pin there to remember at what point I'm changing. This is to remember what you're doing at each stage with the which color. So at this color point, I leave the blue there. I put the needle in between this red, pull through to 2. So I'm doing a half, like slip, half double crochets like this, yarn over, pull through 2, put the thread, pull through 2, put the needle, pull the thread, pull through 2, put the thread, pull through 2. So I'm going to join you back at stage 3 of the work. At stage 3 of the work, we'll be working only at the back post. When I mean back post, if you look your work, you have 2 posts there. So I'll be working only at this post, the one at the back, right there. So I'll not be working on the front post, but this back one. We'll work all the back posts to here, and I'll show you what to do when you get onto this blue. So what I mean is this. I've done the first one, and I'll do back post, put the needle, pull through 2, take the needle, pull through there, pull through 2. If you see I'm working on the back post, you can see a line forming at the front. So the back post is this one at the back. Yarn over, pull through 2, the needle through, yarn, pull through, the needle through, pull through. So this stage 3 of the work basically define how your socks is going to come out. The first one was chain stitches, the second one was slip stitch and half double crochets, or single chains as you can call it. And this one, the third stage, is working on the back post that will come out looking like this. And at the very last one, this one, instead of us putting the thread forward, we'll put it backward. I'll pick up the next color, which is the blue. We are doing this so that we have one direction where all the yarns go to. So at this point here, the needle goes in and picks up the blue one up and brings it out, and then we do a single chain. And then we carry on. At this point, I'm sure you'll be struggling to see. We will be working on the same thing here at the back post only, like this. Slip stitch, slip stitch. We are doing the slip stitch on the blue one because it is where the socks, the baby booties, will wrap around the child's feet. You will struggle a bit to get through of this because it's a slip stitch, and that's why I said when you're doing it, you should make it loose, so you shouldn't struggle to do it the next line. Like that. And the next one, see there's taking 2, but I just need 1, so I'll move that. Next one, this is how it looks like. So what I mean by slip stitches here, if you look, this is slip stitches, and these are the half post. This is how your socks looks like because it's 2 colors on the slip stitch and the half post. Then you fold it in because this is the anklet where the kids' feet will rest, and this is where the kids' feet land. So this socks is for an 8-month-old or a 5-month-old baby with tiny feet, because different sizes come for different feet size as well. And I want back at the final stage of the work. At this point of the work, you can see I've reached at the very final stage, and this is how your work looks like. So it has the blue still hanging there that we'll have to cut, and this is how the other side looks like. Single crochets and slip stitch. And don't forget, we have to measure our work with the tape to have 20, as I told you, before we start folding. So from this end of the work to this very end is 20, but we're having 22, whereby when you fold it in, you have 18. So what I mean by folding in is this is a flat work. It looks like this. Looks like this, and we will have to fold it in. This is the back side, or the inner side, as you can see, and this is the outer side. So that's, we'll fold it in this way. Hello, we're back again on the second part of the socks we were doing. As I said initially, we're doing something looking like this. Now we're doing it with a fold because it's winter. I want to keep the kids warm and everything. So right now I've done single crochets and slip stitch up to about, remember I showed you the tape at the beginning, up to about 11, but I need to do it up to 20 because we need to fold it. So it's 11 by the bottom, but we need 20, and it is 18 inches, as you can see from here. It's 17 inches, but it's supposed to be 18 inches. When you stretch it, it goes up to 18 inches. So basically, I'm going to carry on doing slip stitch. I'm going to carry on doing slip stitch and half double crochets. So slip stitch is for this part so that it stretches like this, and half double crochets is for the sole of the shoe. So it's exactly the same thing on this part. This is half double crochets and this is slip stitch. If you don't want the sole to be folded, you have it long like that, but this is how it looks like, not folded, but it'll be too long for a baby and you keep it too warm. I instead like them when it's folded, and I'm going to end up putting a rope on it, so we'll have a very small booty looking like this, fold, and easy to walk about for a baby in the house. So I'll carry on now. You can see the two layers still have the same. I'll carry on now doing another single crochets back to this point, and then I'll slip stitch. So what I mean is, I always have to do one chain. One chain is to make sure your work comes out evenly, one like that, and there we do slip stitch, the first one, and we work at the back post. As I said, back post is slip stitch. You have common errors like this where the yarn picks up excess from the next yarn. You just cut it slightly with the scissors and you carry on. Slip stitch, slip stitch. So when I'm working, I'm counting my work. I did 10 and 11. So when I'm in counting is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the red one. As I said, if you cannot remember this, you can count. You can like pin your work with hooks on each point so you remember where you started and where you ended. And when I get here where the red ends, I put it at the back of the work. This last one. I put the red at the back so it stays inside of the sole. And I pick up the blue one. I pass the needle in the same hole, pull it over, and slip stitch, because this side is a slip stitch. You'll find it a bit tight on the very first pulses here, so you do in between the first two and then you carry on with the next one. And when you're doing slip stitch, do them very light, not too tight, because if you do them too tight, you'll not have a beautiful layout of your work, and you'll even struggle for the needle to go through. And especially when you're doing with thick yarns, bulky yarns, you need to do very loose slip stitch of your work. At the very last one, I do another single chain. I turn over. So basically this is what I'll be doing to the very end of the work. The very end of the work would be at 22. As I said with the tape, make sure you have your tape. You measure from here till it gives you up to 20 there, and then we'll fold. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more video. Thank you. Back. So first thing